Hey, Mrs. Kadow here, and I'm going to show you how to do your music assignment for this week. This is for kindergarten and first grade who are using Seesaw, and this is our 7th week of the third quarter. So I'm already in my Seesaw class, and I'm going to remember to go to the activities, that little light bulb. So I'm going to find it and tap on it one time. And then I'm going to look for the assignment that is on top. And I'm going to go ahead and tap the green Add Response. So I'm going to find it and I'm going to tap the green Add Response, green button. And then it will load my assignment for that week. And you can see that in our assignment we have 2 slides. You can tell because on that menu it has 2. So I'm going to start with this first one. And I have a square that says tap here. And they will all be like this. I changed it a little bit to make it easier. So you're going to tap on it. Make sure that you already have the hand on the bottom. And you're going to look for that little circle. The little circle next to it is white. And when you tap on it, it'll turn blue, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and tap on that blue writing. And that is going to take me into my lesson for this week in our Bitmoji classroom. So it is loading, and it will load in a new window on my iPad. So here is our first slide. This week we're learning about jazz music. So I'm going to walk you through what you need to do for every slide. So on this first slide, you always start every slide with these voice instructions up here. So I tap on them one time. Tap. And then I tap that little play button that shows up underneath. It'll be a little triangle. So I go ahead and I tap that. And then I listen to what it tells me to do. So for this slide, it's telling me that I need to play the video. And the video will eventually be right over here. Then I go to my next slide. And how do I do that? Well, I've got this arrow right here, so I tap on it. So we always start with that white circle to play the directions, and we do what they tell us to, and then we end by using the black circle on the bottom. So this slide is very similar. We start with our voice instructions, we tap on them, we do what they tell us to do, which is to watch a video. So here's my video, and the videos are right in the slides for you, so they don't have to open up anywhere else. So what you're going to do is just go ahead and look at that video and see how it has a little triangle play button in the middle of it. It's a white triangle in this case. I'm just going to tap that one time, tap, and it turns red when I tap on it. And then the video starts playing right in the slide. That's so cool. So you watch all the video, and then when you're done, you tap on that black circle to go to the next slide. So I'm going to do that right now. That video is going to tell you what jazz is all about. So now we're in the jazz club and we want to learn about the jazz band, all those awesome musicians playing up on stage. So what you'll end up doing is tapping, guess what? The voice instructions, white circle right there. You'll listen to them and they're going to tell you to play the video. Now, this is a little bit different. Make sure you start with the video that has the red above it, okay? So you're going to tap on that video and watch and listen to it and do what it tells you to do. So it's going to tell you about jazz. And then you are going to go ahead and listen to this video up here. This is an example of jazz music. So you will tap on that video. So here, again, we see that white triangle. I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to tap on it one time. Tap. And it should start playing right inside the video. And I listen to it and I think about what the video tells me to do, what my first video said to do. And then when I'm done, I go to the next slide. Tap. The next slide, we start with, wait for it, see if you can guess, the voice instructions, white circle, tap, listen. They tell us to play the video. We are going to listen to a story about a jazz fly. It's a really cool story. So you tap on that just like before, look for the play button, which is going to be that white rectangle or that white square. Tap it, and then you will just watch the story right there. See if you can read along with it. It's got a lot of really cool pictures and sounds in it. When you're done watching the entire story, go ahead and go to the next slide. So that'll be the black circle. Circles are important. With the arrow, tap. Now, I am in the only part of this assignment that is going to take me into another window besides Seesaw. This is our library for our jazz. So you have some choices here. On the bookshelf, we have all different types of jazz books, and you're going to pick one that you would like to read. So, for example, I'm going to pick Trombone Shorty because that's a really fun one, and I'm going to tap it one time. So here it is, and I'm going to tap it one time. Tap. Now it opens in a new window. So the video is going to play for me. It's going to load, and then it's going to start playing. So I'm going to watch all of that video and listen. And when I'm done, what I'm going to do is go back to my Bitmoji classroom. It's very much like when you go from the Bitmoji classroom back to Seesaw. Look, here's my home button on the side. It's a circle. Yours is a circle too. And I tap it twice with my finger. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Sometimes it's a little silly. You gotta make sure you do it fast. Tap, tap. There we go. Now, see all these squares? These are the windows that I have open on my iPad. I want to look for the one that is my Bitmoji classroom. So I want to look for the one that has that little blue circle above it. That's our Safari. So I'm going to tap that square underneath it. Then that takes me right back to where I was. Now, if you think you're going to get confused with this part, you can just remember that you're listening to your book and then you're coming back to do the rest. And if it doesn't work, just keep going in the Bitmoji classroom. So we are coming back. And now we're back in the Bitmoji classroom. So now that I've listened to the story I want to, I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide. Tap that black circle with the white arrow in it. So now I'm on my next slide, and this is one of the most fun parts. This is where you get to do one of the things in jazz called call and response. So I'm going to explain that to you in the video that's in the slide right here. So you're going to tap the play button that'll be on the video that will be there and watch all of it. And we're going to practice call and response together because you're going to have assignment about it in Seesaw later. So make sure you watch the whole video and do the video along with me, just like if I was right there with you and we were doing it together. And then you're going to go to the next slide. Tap. This slide is our last slide. So it reminds you what you need to do and how to get back to the Bitmoji classroom, or how to get back to Seesaw. So I will remind you how to get back to Seesaw right now. Just like when we were in the library and we had to come back to the Bitmoji classroom, we now need to go back to Seesaw. So here's my home button, my circle button, tap, tap. Now, I want to look for my Seesaw window. And I can tell it's my Seesaw window because I see my little picture of my Seesaw assignment in it. So remember that duck when we had our Squishmallow duck? I'm going to tap right on the one that is our Seesaw assignment. So I'm going to tap it, tap, and now I'm back. So here I am. And now I need to go to my second slide that has my assignment. So here's what I do. I am on the right side here, and you can tell I'm on the first slide because it's got that blue square. So I want to go to the second slide. So I take my finger and I tap on that second square, the one right below it. And when I tap on it, it'll turn blue and tell me I'm on the second slide. And then this slide is where you will do your assignment for this week. So you can get all your points because jazz is so cool and you want to get all your points. So what you're going to do is watch the video here that will explain what you need to do. Then, when you're done with everything, you have watched everything in the Bitmoji classroom that was linked to the first slide. You've done your assignment for this week, which, by the way, is going to be to make your own response rhythm to my call rhythm. And that'll all be in that video right here to remind you, because I know this is a lot to think about. So that's why we have those videos within to remind you what you need to do. You're going to turn it in. Now remember, to turn in assignments on Seesaw, what you do is you look for that green circle. Circles are important, remember? This time the circle is green. So when you're done, you're just going to tap that circle right there. And then that will turn in the assignment. So remember, we come into the Bitmoji classroom by the light bulb. We click the green response or tap it. We go to the Bitmoji classroom and do everything it tells us to do. We come back and do our assignment, and then we tap that green turn in button. I really hope that you guys enjoy this assignment. We're going to be learning about different types of music for the next few weeks, and I'm so excited to share all of that with you and to see what you have to turn in.